Dad's Son Gaming back at you with another CFB 26 video. If you're starting a dynasty with a 3-star school or below, stop searching now. This might be the most important build you'll ever see, because I'm about to give you the ultimate coaching blueprint that'll have your rivals crying in your group Discord chat. Your recruits are going to be top tier. Your player development is going to be God tier. Your reputation in your league, you'll be feared. We're not just building a team, we're creating a 5-star powerhouse that bullies blue bloods and steals 5-star talent like candy on Halloween. Just imagine your humble little 3-star underdog school, now the worst nightmare in the league to go up against. Sound good? Then don't blink, don't breathe, and definitely don't click away, because what I'm about to show you can rewire how you build dynasties forever. Let's turn that 3-star squad into legends. Welcome back, everyone. Now, if anything in this video helped you, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe below, because your comments will help me determine what information is helpful. And if you want me to cover anything in the future, make sure you let that be known as well. Now, at the end of this video, I'm going to give you guys a bonus, and that bonus will be depending upon how many likes and subscriptions we get on this video, which means I'm going to give you guys a free coaching calculator spreadsheet that you can use, and we're going to work towards that in the next video. So let's get started. The first thing you want to do if you're doing a 3-star dynasty league where you must start off with a 3-star team is you want to make sure your commissioner has the settings appropriate for you to be able to thrive with this. The first thing you want to do is make sure that your manual progression XP is at least 25 or lower. The reason why I say 25 or lower is because for every manual progression you make to your players, then if you get 100 points, you will get 75 of those 100. If it's at 20 like it is in our league, we'll get 80 points out of the 100. So that's still good enough to help you to manually progress and get your players upgraded faster. Also, you want to make sure that the pre-order bonus is turned on. If you paid the $89 for the pre-order, you want to make sure that you get your 100 coaching points for Dynasty. And many people ask, does it reset for every Dynasty? And it does. So every Dynasty you go into, if this pre-order bonus is on, then you will get 100 points for every Dynasty, which is pretty cool. So that's worth it for the $89. Now, the last thing you want to do is you want to go down here after you have seen the settings in your league from your commissioner. You want to make sure that you have auto recruiting on off. You want to make sure that you have auto progress players on off. You want to make sure that you have user coach auto progression to off. Now that you have that, it is time to pick your team. And I'm going to tell you why I was strategic about picking Georgia Tech in my league, and you might want to do this in your league. So if it's a 3-star school or below that you have to pick, the one thing you want to do is you want to browse through, if you can, maybe do this in a test dynasty league, and you want to browse through and find out which assistant coach has the ability called architect. You want an architect assistant coach, and the reason why you want that is because it is going to be one good key piece in making an overpowered build. Now, if you can't get one, it's still going to be a great build, but this just adds the cherry on top. So if you have an assistant coach that is an architect, then look at the settings or the abilities in architect. You have tier 1, which is can't stop, won't stop. And every 3 games you win, your player will get an XP bonus. Then you have tier 2, which means that you earn an extra XP bonus for in-game goals. And then you have tier 3, which is limitless, which means you have a chance to increase a random skill cap when leveling up. That's pretty cool, because that literally means that your players will not have a ceiling, and you could be looking at 99 overall sophomores or 99 overall juniors, depending on the rest of the stuff that we add to this. So having this is a really key luxury. The other thing you want to do is on your other coordinator, you want to make sure they have either one or two abilities. Number one is they could have Motivator, which is going to help you gain more development for your players. Or number two, they can have what's called strategist, which mine does here, which means that I'm going to get some help in my recruiting. And as you see here, mine has tier 4, or all 4 tiers of this. Tier 1, boost complimentary visits for defensive backs. Tier 2, bigger impact on prospects. Tier 3, a lower deal breaker threshold. Tier 4, chance to learn a dev trait of a DB while scouting. So these are pretty cool to have. And so that's why I say get a coordinator with either this ability or Motivator. So either you can actually have some recruiting help or you can actually have some development help. Now, what build would you choose for your coach? Now we have your assistant coaches. Well, you're going to be a recruiter. The reason why you're going to be a recruiter is because you can actually use these points immediately. Remember, you cannot even upgrade to another tier until you have a level of coach that's a coach level 10. So you got to be a level 10 in order to move in tiers, but we get recruiter and we're only going to get tier 1. Tier 1 is advanced look. That means any prospect you scout, it takes less time to fully scout them, which means that you can actually scout more of them. Or if you don't scout everyone, you can scout more of them and still have points left for recruiting. So we're going to do tier 1 or 7 of these categories. Don't do them for kicker. Don't do them for punter. So we're going to have that part in recruiter. Now, the next goal you must meet in order for this ultimate build to work is you want to make sure that in your league, you are signing at least 2 top 5 recruiting classes. The reason why that's important is so we can unlock Elite Recruiter. Elite Recruiter is where we're going to do most of our damage in being a mastermind recruiter. And you're going to get tier 1, which is boost ideal pitch grades for quarterback. You're going to get tier 2, my school grades have a larger impact on prospects. Tier 3, I'm not too much of a fan of, but again, recruiting actions have bigger impacts on QBs, which is most influential. Tier 4 is the best one. Always be recruiting. This gives you additional points that you can use. Right now, you're in your recruiting and you're seeing that you're capped at 50. Well, these on all of the positions here would literally give you like 80 points. So go from 50 to 80. That would be ideal on every position, which means that you would literally have more points to out recruit your rivals in your league. So once you get Elite Recruiter, now we're going to do a separate video on how you can reach that will take some work on your part for your 3-star school. So it's going to be tough to do it in the first year. If you can, great. But we're going to talk about the strategy behind that in another video. That's why you want to subscribe. The next thing you want to do is once you have, again, either one of these are going to be fine, but the minute you can, you want to go directly straight to Motivator, run there, and you want to begin to unlock Motivator. And this is going to cost 20 points. Now, before I go into Motivator, you're probably asking, well, Melvin, last year we went to this and then we went over to architect. Why are we not doing that this year? Well, the reason why we don't want to touch architect or tactician or strategist is the fact that you have to spend 50 points in Motivator. I'm sorry, it's 50 points in tactician to get here. So literally, you're going to have to spend 60 points just to unlock architect. That is too many for this build. And if you're doing that, you're going to end up botching your coach, or your coach will be underdeveloped. Also with this, in strategist, you have to spend 50 points in tactician. So we can't touch strategist and we can't touch architect. That's why we want coaches with either one of these abilities. So what you would do after recruiter, or as soon as you can, maybe even before you unlock all the tiers of recruiter, is you want to go over to Motivator and you want to go down and you want to get tiers 1 through 3. Tier 1 literally is an interest boost for recruits when a current recruit hits a skill cap. Now, let me tell you a secret that no one has mentioned on YouTube. I'm going to mention it here. Since we can actually manually progress our players, in order to take advantage of tier 1, I would not upgrade my players during like the beginning of or I would say the mid-season. Don't upgrade them mid-season. Don't upgrade them end of season because it's not going to help. Save and sandbag your upgrade points for your players. And you want to do it in the off season when you're setting up your recruiting board. The reason why is if you read it, it says interest boost for recruits when a current recruit hits a skill cap. So you want to hit your skill caps and accumulate those points and hit your skill cap in the off season so you can actually attract more prospects. That's how you use tier 1. If you're upgrading your players during the season and you have already mostly finished your recruiting battles, then you're wasting tier 1. So if you can, sandbag those upgrades and do them all when you start an off season and you're into recruiting. The next one we have is hot hand or stay hot through timeouts. I don't really care for that ability, but we have to get to it to go to tier 3. Tier 3 is where we need it at. You're going to get an off-season training boost for every player. You want to do all of these tier 3 for 7 players. Now, the reason why I like this is because remember, we have an architect on our team. So not only will we be able to gain additional XP points, we're going to also be able to unlock the cap and remove the ceiling from our players. And you combine this with Motivator, then your training boost could push you over the edge. These two already have amazing abilities together because you're going to have players developing at a good rate. So now that we have Motivator, now that we can give our recruits some boost, and we do have a coach that has strategic abilities, and we have one that has architect abilities, it is now time to get the next ability. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to Talent Developer. Now in Talent Developer, what you want to do is you want to get tier 1, a bonus XP for recruits when they are drafted. So you have someone that's drafted, then the players behind them will get an XP, making them develop faster. So now this is all about controlling the rate of progression and making it way faster. So you want tier 1 and you want tier 2, freshman and sophomore prospects will progress faster. So now you have removed the ceiling because you have an architect coach, you have training results because you have a motivator, and now you can actually increase the speed of which they develop. So this combination is becoming deadly. So you want tiers 1 through 2 for 7 positions, not kicker. And you want really all these tiers for everything but kicker. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to go over to Program Builder. Now, the route I'm going to tell you to go here is very important because if you already have your ideal assistant coaches, you have an architect and you already have a motivator or you have a strategist, you do not want to lose them. So what you want to do in this is you want to secure tier 1 forever home. Coordinators are less likely to leave in the coaching carousel. You don't want to spend all this time getting a coach, developing them to level whatever, and you have an architect and it's very hard to find them. You don't want them leaving because if someone else sees this video that's in your dynasty, they're going to grab your coordinator if they can and offer them a job. So you want to have tier 1 so you can actually keep your coaches longer so you can continue to enjoy the benefits of no cap when you are developing. The next one you want to get is you want to get tiers 1 through 3 here and tiers 1 through 3 here. So again, tier 1 is upgrade your school's best 2 pipelines by 1 tier, which means that if you are a tier 4, you'll be a tier 5. If you are a tier 3, you'll be a tier 4. And then you want to get tier 2, upgrade your school's 5 best pipelines by 1 tier. So now you're going to upgrade your school's 5 best pipelines. And then on tier 3, you're going to upgrade your school's 5 worst pipelines. So now you are paying less points for visits because they're in your pipeline. Also, you now have more control of more areas because you're going to be a tier higher and everything. So you will be able to compete for recruits, not only in just your region, but you will be able to grab them in other regions that are close within your pipeline. That is absolutely amazing. So you need that skill. It's going to help you dominate recruiting. Also, in this, you want 1, 2, and 3, a boost to primary pipeline, boost to starting interest for recruits from your primary pipeline. And so these are going to be great. And then hometown discount, recruits from your primary pipeline gain extra influence boost. And so that's going to be literally 16 points. And so to unlock this, you do have to win 5 playoff games and you have to spend 125 points in any archetype. We're going to do that. So last but not least, we want to go over to CEO. And this is going to be where we really kind of make this build overpowered. In CEO, you want to grab these abilities. You want to get Gains Getter, which is increase the chance that a player upgrades their dev trait, because you can go from a impact to a superstar. You can go to an elite. So you can actually upgrade their dev trait. You couldn't do this last year, but you could do it this year. Then you want to get More Than Merry. You want to increase the number of players who can visit in week 8 in a week to 8. This way you can have more recruits that can visit, and you can actually lock down those signings before anyone else in your league does. Also, you want to have the chance to instant commit when offering a scholarship, because that's going to save you recruiting points. So not only are you going to have increased recruiting points, you're going to actually save them. You're going to be a nightmare to deal with in recruiting because of all these abilities. The last but not least ability is gain additional interest for every 10 hours spent. So even if you're locked in a recruiting battle, this is going to be what separates you. So now you are a recruiting demon, and now you have pretty much everything you need to dominate. And what you must do for CEO is you have to win 2 national championships, and you got to spend 200 in any archetype. So again, the challenge is winning the 2 national championships. Now here's an alternative. If you are not able to win championships, because there's some people that are going to be in leagues that will not win a national title, then the alternative to help you out is to put those points into Motivator, and you can actually go tier 2, which literally will help your wear and tear a whole lot better. So you can actually dump some of those points into this, or you can actually put it into tier 2. Quarterbacks are less likely to transfer, or players are less likely to transfer. So again, you can actually put these and separate these into the other tier. Again, that CEO ability is going to be around 100 points. So you can take them and put them in Motivator. And again, you don't have to worry about getting anything else to unlock it. Going this route will prevent you from wasting points into unlocking these or these. So Motivator would be where you could put the additional points. Or if you go to Talent Developer, you can actually go down here and you can put some of those additional points that you wouldn't get from CEO to help you better with hiring coaches, or help you better with getting a higher caliber of coach. So you can actually put those points in any of these ones here as well. I think these are really good. You can also put this into persuading your players not to go pro. So again, a few other things you could put those into that if you can't win a championship would help you greatly. So now let's go and add all these up and make sure we have enough points to cover this build. So here's a spreadsheet that we designed to make sure that we can fit all these abilities in and still be under the allotted amount of points that we get to design a coach. If you don't know what that is, we get a total of 1,000 points. And you want to make sure you optimize your coaching build so you can fit as many things in as possible, because the way it works out, we might not hit 1,000 even. So you don't want to go, you can't go 1 point over or 2 points over, or your build won't work. Now, for those of you who are developing coaches and you're not calculating the points ahead of time, you can end up with a botch coach. And the worst thing in the world to do is to have a botch coach and you're in a dedicated dynasty league like I'm in, and now you have to go the rest of the year with a coach that you underdeveloped, and you're not going to be able to have fun in this game. So to prevent that, I am going to make this spreadsheet available for the public for anyone to download in a link below on the next video. All we have to do is get 500 likes and 500 comments on this video, and everyone will have this sheet. So now let's calculate our points to make sure we can get them all in. So on Recruiter, we're going to spend 392 points. On Motivator, we're going to spend 188 points. On Talent Developer, we're going to spend 162 points. And on Program Builder, we're going to spend 158 points. And now we have a total of 900 points. Folks, we cannot go over 100 points. So let's do CEO and see if it works. And CEO comes in at 99. And we now have the beast coaching build with the most legendary abilities, and you will be able to out recruit and out develop everyone who doesn't know about this. And this is the most optimized coaching build because it only came out at 999 points, which means we only left 1 point over, and we have utilized this coaching build. So if you follow this, then you will be able to have the best coach ever in your league. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. Make sure we get the 500 likes and 500 comments on this video, and make sure you subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any one of our videos. In the next video, we're going to show you how to recruit when you're a 3-star team. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.